Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Knowledge for You. In this video, I'm going to discuss the most important 5-mark question from the unit Architecture of 8051 Controller, and the topic is Pin Diagram of 8051 Microcontroller. So 8051 has total 40 pins. It is available in 40 pins. See here, these 40 pins are divided into two parts. 20 pins are the left hand side and remaining 20 are at the right hand side. So 1 to 20 and remaining 21, 22, so on till 40. Then how to remember this pin diagram of 8051? So look at here, the 20th pin is reserved for ground pin and the 40th pin is reserved for VCC, nothing but power supply pin. So see here how to remember it. So just look at here, just remember this S. Remember this S. So you have to start from here. After VCC, since it has got 4 ports, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. So like this we have to start. So here the right hand side we have the port 0 and next comes to port 1, next comes to port 2 here and next come to port 3. So here after the VCC we have got total 8 pins which are dedicated for port 0. So 0.0 means the first pin of port 0, next to second, third, so on till 8th pin of port 0, and next it comes to here. Then here it starts port 1, first pin, second pin, so on till 8th pin. Next here port 2 we have, then you have to start from bottom, the first pin of the port 2, total 8 pins you have to write, and next here we have what a port 3. Then how to start port 3 means in between port 1 and port 3 we have to leave one pin. There's a 9th pin is used for reset, okay, reset pin. And immediately after the reset pin we have the port 3 starts, first pin, second pin, so all till 8th pin. And next 18th and 19th pin are used for crystal frequency. It is used for clock frequency, that is extal 2 and extal 1. These two pins are used to generate the clock frequency. And next between port 0 and port 2 3 pins are left. The names of these 3 pins are, the 31 pin is used for enable address EA, and next 30th pin is ALE, address latch enable. ALE pin is used to demultiplex, to separate the address bus from the data bus. Okay, whatever the lower address and the data lines which are multiplexed, so those two lines will be separated or demultiplexed by means of a pin, so called ALE pin, address latch enable pin, and whose pin number is how much? 30. And next 29th pin is used for program store enable. Program store enable. So now let's discuss the importance of these pins. The first we have ports, port pins, totally 4 ports it has, port 0 to port 3. Okay, so port 0 is used for multiplex. See here it is given port 0 and port 2 used for external memory, nothing but port 0 is used for multiplexed lower byte address and data lines. Multiplexed lower byte address and data lines. Similarly port 2 is used for higher byte address lines, and port 1 is used for input output port or IO port, and port 3 is used for dedicated means it has fixed functions, dedicated IO port, that is a port 3. So next control pins. What are the other control pins or other control signals? It has been reset. Okay, reset. So it resets the microcontroller. Whenever the reset pin is activated, it points to the starting address 0000. And next we have EA, enable internal or external program memory. It enables the internal or external program memory. ALE, nothing but address latch enable. It demultiplexes the address bus from the data bus. And program store enable. So these are the 4 control pins it has. Next oscillator pins, nothing but to generate the clock frequency it uses 2 pins. One is the extal 1 and extal 2, nothing but it connects the crystal oscillator. So it uses a quartz crystal oscillator. Why? Because it is a stable one. For this purpose it uses 2 pins, that is the 18th and 19th pin, extal 1 and extal 2. And next it has, after the oscillating pins, next it has the power pins, that is VCC plus 5 volts, and the ground pin it has, and the ground pin. So this is the pin description of the 8051 controller. Okay, so out of this the port 3 is very important because it is a dedicated input output port. So port 3, it is used for dedicated input-output operation, in that the first pin of the port 3 is receive data. Next pin is transmit data. Okay. Next, external hardware interrupt, that is interrupt 0 bar, interrupt 1 bar. These two are the low level pins. Next, timer 0, timer 1. And next we have a write bar and read bar. So totally 8 signals or 8 pins are very important, which is having the special purpose for this. The first one is what? Receive data, transmit data, interrupt 0, interrupt 1, timer 0, timer 1, write bar and read bar. So this is the pin description of 8051 microcontroller. In this, the port 0 is used for lower byte multiplex addresser data lines, and port 1 is used for input output port. Port 2 is used for higher byte address lines, and port 3 is used for dedicated IO port. Okay, receive data, transmit data, interrupt 0, interrupt 1, timer 0, timer 1, write bar and read bar. So this is the pin description of 8051 controller. And the next important question for 3 marks is difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Microprocessor and microcontroller. So let's see the definition of microprocessor. Microprocessor is a programmable semiconductor IC. It's a programmable semiconductor IC which fetches, decodes and executes the instruction. It's a CPU in the computer. It's the brain of the computer. So let's differentiate microprocessor and microcontroller. The first one is, in terms of definition, it is CPU only, nothing but it's the processor only. But microcontroller has what? Inbuilt memory and IO devices on the chip along with processor. Okay, it has memory and IO devices on the chip along with the processor. Next, coming to memory, in microprocessor we need to connect the memory externally. External RAM and ROM is required, whereas in microcontroller this RAM and ROM is already inbuilt on the chip. Okay, internal RAM and ROM is will be available, and the capacity of RAM is what? 128 bytes. In this, the data will be stored, therefore it is called as data memory, and the capacity of ROM is 4 kilobytes. In this, the program code is stored. Okay, IO ports, input output ports are connected externally to the microprocessor, whereas these ports already built in the microcontroller. So it has 4 ports: port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3, and these 4 ports operates in 4 modes. Next, cost. Microprocessor has high cost, microcontroller is available low price. Size, the large one is a compact system. Power consumption is high for microprocessor and low for controller. Applications, it is used in PCs, laptops, okay, personal computers, laptops, whereas controller is used in embedded systems. Example is Intel 8086, and here it is Intel 8051. So we are discussing about Intel 8051 in our syllabus, and here it is microprocessor, means Intel 8085 we are discussing. What was the first microprocessor developed by which corporation? Means it is a 4004. 4004 was the first microprocessor developed by Intel Corporation. And it was a 4-bit processor. The capacity of ALU is only 4 bits. And next, comparison of various Intel microcontrollers. Here we are comparing this one 8051, next 8052 and 8031. So program memory for 8051 4 kilobytes, for 8052 it is 4 kilobytes. And here it is a no ROM. Data RAM 128 bytes, 128 bytes, 128 bytes, and input output ports are total 4 ports, and each port has 8 pin, therefore it is 4 8s are 32 pins, 32, and timers. Okay, 8051 has got 2 timer, everyone has got 2 timer, each and every controller. Serial port is available in each and every one. It has got 5 interrupts, and 8052 is reprogrammable, whereas rest of the 2 is non-programmable. Features of 8051 controller. This is also important one for 3 marks. So feature means we are comparing in terms of how many bit processor it is, what is the capacity of RAM, ROM, how many ports it has, how many timers and counters it has, all those things we have to write. So it is an 8-bit microcontroller. The capacity of ROM is 4 kilobytes on chip ROM, and RAM capacity is 128 bytes internal RAM. 4 ports are there: port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. Each port has 8 pins. So each port are 32 IO pins are there. And it has 2 16-bit timers and counters. Full duplex serial communication port is available. 5 interrupt sources. What are the 5 interrupt sources? INT 0, timer 0 overflow flag, INT 1, timer 1 overflow flag, and serial port interrupter. Bit addressable RAM, on chip oscillator, Okay, on chip oscillator, and next one it can be expandable up to 64 kilobytes of memory and lower power consumption, and it operates with a 5 volts power supply. So this is the most important questions from the 8051 microcontroller 1 mark and 3 mark. And next from the first unit also, what are the features of 8085 microprocessor? 8085 microprocessor available in 8-bit processor. It has 8-bit data bus, 16-bit address bus. So 16-bit address bus means it can address up to 64 kilobytes of memory. 64 kilobytes of memory. How do we get this 64 kilobytes? 16 means it can be represented as 2 power 16, that is 2 power 10 into 2 power 6. 2 power 6 means 64, 2 power 10 means kilo. So it can address up to 64 kilobytes of memory. It operates with plus 5 volts power supply. Inbuilt clock generator will be provided to generate the clock frequency, and the typical clock frequency is 3 megahertz. It has 5 hardware interrupts, INTR, RST 5.5, 6.5, 7.5 and TRAP. It has got multiplex address and data bus 80 to 87. Serial communication port is available, and it has got 2 pins, SID and SOD pins, serial input data and serial output data. Okay, and next it has 5 flags. What are the 5 flags? Sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary carry, and a parity flag bits, and simple and cost effective. So these are the important features of 8085 controller. I hope these questions will be useful. This video will be useful for your preparation. So please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.